This is lesson 461. This is a spelling dictation lesson. I will dictate words that contain the letter Y, where Y will represent its long E sound. Before I begin dictation, let's review the 6 jobs of Y. Job 1. The letter Y represents the short sound of I when it is the only vowel in a syllable and is followed by a consonant, as in the word gym. Job 2. When the letter Y is at the end of a one-syllable word and Y is the only vowel in the syllable, the letter Y represents the long sound of I, as in the word buy. The letter Y occurring by itself at the end of any syllable after the first syllable in a word normally represents the long sound of E, as in baby. And the words I dictate in this lesson are all going to fall under the category of job 3 for the Y, where Y comes at the end of 2 syllables. And when Y comes at the end of 2 syllables, the Y normally represents the long E sound. Sometimes the letter Y at the end of any syllable after the first syllable will represent the long sound of I, as in lullaby. But most of the time, when Y comes at the end of any syllable after the first syllable in the word, it represents the long E sound. And Y has 2 long sounds. The first long sound of Y is the long I sound, as you hear in the word buy or lullaby. The second long sound for Y is the long E sound that you hear in the word baby. When Y represents its second long sound, you double underline the Y to indicate Y is representing its second long sound, which is the E sound. Job 4 of the Y. When 2 vowels in one syllable are separated by 1 or more consonants, and the first vowel is the letter Y, and the second vowel is a silent letter E, then the letter Y represents the long sound of I, and the letter E is silent, as in the word style. Job 5. The letter Y is part of the vowel teams AY, EY, and OY. In these 3 teams, the letter Y is silent. And we have examples: pay, key, boy. Finally, the letter Y is a consonant at the beginning of any syllable in a word, such as in yard and yo-yo. So when Y represents its consonant sound, it's y. Let's review the 6 jobs of Y. Job 1. In the word gym, you have 1 vowel in the word followed by a consonant. In that instance, the Y will represent the short I sound, I, as in gym. Job 2. When Y comes at the end of the first syllable in a word, then the Y will represent the long I sound, as in buy. Job 3. When Y comes at the end of 2 or more syllables, normally it represents its second long sound, which is the sound E. And when Y represents the sound E, you double underline the Y. That's the second long sound for the vowel Y. And the words that we're going to dictate in this lesson will all contain Y at the end of 2 syllables, where Y will represent its second long sound. Job 4. When Y comes in the middle of a syllable, by itself, followed by a consonant, followed then by a silent E, the silent E causes the Y to represent its long sound, and that sound is I, as in the word style. Job 5. Y is part of the vowel teams AY, EY, and OY. In all of these teams, the Y is silent. AY represents the long A sound, A as in pray. EY, the long E sound, E as in key. OY represents the sound OI, as in toy. And finally, job 6. When Y is at the beginning of any syllable in a word, it's going to be a consonant, and Y as a consonant represents the sound y, as in yard. We begin dictation now. 10 rows of words. As I said, all of the words in this lesson will contain Y at the end of 2 syllables, and Y at the end of 2 syllables normally represents the long E sound. Remember, Y has 2 long sounds. the long I sound, as in buy, but it also represents the long E sound, as in baby. When Y represents its second long sound, E, double underline the Y to indicate the Y is representing its second long sound. We begin with row 1, entry, entry. Entry to the building was limited. Entry. N, 2 sounds. N. Tree, 3 sounds. T, R, E. N, tree. Now the first thing we do to mark this word is we look for teams. We also look to see if a letter is representing its second sound, and we also look to see if the word has a silent E. In this word, Y is representing its second long sound, so we double underline the Y. Next, we identify our vowel sounds. 2 vowel sounds here, so we apply syllable division. Here we have 3 consonants between our vowels, so we divide between the N and the T. Now, TR is a blend here. Why do we not indicate it's a blend? We only mark blends when we have to protect the blend so that it's not broken up into separate syllables. And it's in no danger here of being broken up into separate syllables, the TR. So we don't make a mark to the blend in this instance. Finally, we associate vowel group numbers with our vowels. And we have vowel group 1 in the first syllable, 1 vowel followed by a consonant. And in the second syllable, Y is at the end of the syllable. When Y is at the end of the syllable in 2 or more syllables, it normally represents its second long sound, E. And the word again is entry. Angry, angry. The angry mob roared in disapproval. Angry. Ang, 2 sounds. A, ng. Gree, 3 sounds. G, R, E. Angry. Now step 1, we look for teams, letters representing their second sounds, or silent E in the word. In this instance, we have 2 letters representing their second sounds. Y is N representing its second sound. When the letter N is followed by the sounds G or K, N will represent its second sound, ng. And here we have the G sound following directly after the N. Step 2, identify vowel sounds. And why is Y representing its second sound? When Y comes at the end of 2 or more syllables, normally it will represent its second long sound, E. Now we identify our vowel sounds. We have 2 vowel sounds, so we must divide the word into syllables. And we divide between the N and the G. Again, we have a consonant blend here, GR, but we don't indicate it's a blend because it's not in any danger of being divided into separate syllables. Finally, we associate vowel group numbers with our vowel sounds. Angry. The next word is rowdy. Rowdy, the folks were getting rowdy. Rowdy. First syllable row, 2 sounds. R, ow. D, 2 sounds. D, E. Rowdy. Step 1, look for teams, letters representing their second sounds, silent E within the word. Here we have a team OW, we underline it, and we have Y at the end of 2 syllables representing its second long sound. Now identify vowel sounds. Next, apply syllable division. We have 1 consonant between OW and Y. That's syllable rule 1. Remember, W is part of the vowel team here, so we don't consider W in this instance to be a consonant. Finally, we associate vowel group numbers with our vowels. OW represents the sound ow. That's vowel group 6. Rowdy. The next word is mushy. Mushy. My cereal is mushy. Mushy. First syllable is m, 2 sounds. She, 2 sounds. Sh, E. Mushy. Now, at this point, stop the video and mark the word. Once you've completed marking the word, advance the video to see if you've marked the word correctly. Here we have a 2 underlined under the U because we have an exception to vowel group 2. The U is representing its short sound here, and vowel group 2 says it will represent its long sound. That's why it's an exception. And when Y comes at the end of 2 or more syllables, normally it represents the long E sound, and we double underline the Y when it's representing its long E sound. Row 2, Navy. Navy. He will join the Navy if he can. Navy. Nay, 2 sounds. N, A. V, 2 sounds. V, E. Navy. Mark the word. Navy. Scurry. Scurry. Everybody will scurry about to get the job done. Scurry. Scur, 3 sounds. S, k, Re, 2 sounds. R, E. Scurry. Mark the word. Scurry. Rangy. Rangy. He has a very rangy build. Rangy. Rain, 3 sounds. R, A, N. G, 2 sounds. J, E. Rangy. Mark the word. Rangy. Here, A is representing its long sound, which is an exception to vowel group 1, so we underline the 1. When G is followed by E, I, or Y, it will sometimes represent its second sound, as it does in this word, so we double underline the G. And Y is representing its second long sound, as it will often do when it comes at the end of 2 or more syllables. Tardy. Tardy. The student was tardy for class. Tardy. Tar has 2 sounds. T, R. D, 2 sounds. D, E. Tardy. Mark the word. Tardy. Row 3. Holly. Holly. I will go clip some holly in the backyard. Holly. Hol, 3 sounds. H, ah, ul. Lee, 2 sounds. Ul, E. Hol, lee. Mark the word. Hol, lee. Dizzy. Dizzy. She is feeling a bit dizzy. Dizzy. Diz, 3 sounds. D, I, Z. Z, 2 sounds. Z, E. Dizzy. Mark the word. Dizzy. Pantry. Pantry. The pantry was overflowing with food. Pantry. Pan, 3 sounds. P, a, n. Tree, 3 sounds. T, r, e. Pantry. Mark the word. Pan-tree. Cozy. Cozy. This room is very cozy. Cozy. Co, 2 sounds. K, o. Z, 2 sounds. Z, e. Cozy. Mark the word. Cozy. Row 4, dowdy. Dowdy. That person dresses in a very dowdy fashion. Dowdy. Dow, 2 sounds. D, ow. D, 2 sounds. D, e. Dowdy. Mark the word. Dowdy. Only. Only. We only have 2 days left. Only. Own, 2 sounds. O, n. Lee, 2 sounds. Ul, e. Only. Mark the word. Only. Notice that O is representing the long sound in this word. That is an exception to vowel group 1, so the 1 is underlined. Ruby. Ruby. A ruby is a precious stone. Ruby. Ru, two sounds, r, u. B, two sounds, b, e. Ruby, mark the word. Ruby. U is double underlined because U is representing its second long sound. And Y is double underlined because it is representing its second long sound. The two sounds U represents are U and U. And the two sounds that Y represents as a long sound are I and E. So when U represents its second long sound, U, we double underline it. And when Y represents its second long sound, E, we double underline it as well. Lowly, lowly. They are in the lowly position of last place in the division. Lowly. Low has two sounds, l, o. Lee has two sounds, l, e. Lowly. Mark the word. Lowly. Row 5, puny. Puny, that's a puny horse. Puny. Pew, two sounds, p, u. Knee, two sounds, n, e. Puny. Mark the word. Puny. Marry. Marry. The question is, will you marry me? Marry. Mare has three sounds, a, Re has two sounds, r, e. Marry. Mark the word. Marry. Now, in a previous lesson, we learned that when you have a vowel followed by two R's, then oftentimes the vowel plus the R will not join together and form a vowel group 5 team. And here is an example of that. Because we have two R's in this word, the first vowel A plus the R do not join together and form a team. Instead, A is representing its short sound. Noisy. Noisy. I have a noisy neighbor. Noisy. Noi, two sounds. N, oi. Z, two sounds. Z, e. Noisy. Mark the word. Noisy. Moody. Moody. The child can be moody. Moody. Moo, two sounds. U. D, two sounds. D, e. Moody. Mark the word. Moody. Row 6. Dingy. Dingy. This apartment is dingy. Dingy. Din, three sounds. D, I, n. G, two sounds. J, e. Dingy. Mark the word. Dingy. Now, we have a rule that says when N is followed by G or K, then N will represent its second sound. Why is N not representing its second sound here? It's followed by the letter G, but G is representing its second sound, J. So N is actually being followed by the J sound, which does not cause the N to represent its second sound. Murky. Murky. Your reasoning is very murky. Murky. Mur, two sounds. Key, two sounds. K, e. Murky. Mark the word. Murky. Husky. Husky. I have a husky for a pet. Husky. Hus, three sounds. H, s. Key, two sounds. K, e. Husky. Mark the word. Husky. Gently. Gently. Gently hold the baby. Gently. Gent, four sounds. J, e, n, t. Lee, two sounds. L, e. Gently. Mark the word. Gently. Here we have a consonant blend, NT, and we need to make sure the N and the T remain together in the same syllable, so we place half circles under the N and the T, which locks the two consonant letters together. We count the N and T as a unit of 1 when we're counting the consonants between our vowels, so we divide after the T and before the L. Row 7, hurry. Hurry. Let's not be late. Hurry. Her, 2 sounds. H, Read, 2 sounds. E. Hurry. Mark the word. Hurry. Now, here we have a vowel plus 2 R's, but the first vowel plus the R join together and form a team. So the word we had previously, you had a vowel plus 2 R's, and the first vowel plus the R did not form a team. So it's not a hard and fast rule. It's just that when you see a vowel plus 2 R's, you have to look carefully to determine whether or not the first vowel plus the R will join together to form a vowel group 5 team or not. And that will be decided on a case-by-case basis with the word you're looking at. Hooky. Hooky. The children played hooky from school. Hooky. Huh. 2 sounds. Key. 2 sounds. K, E. Hooky. Mark the word. Hooky. OO is representing its second sound. The first sound for OO is oo, as in boot. The second sound OO represents is as in foot. Oo and Here, OO is representing the second sound Gloomy. Gloomy. Don't be so gloomy. Gloomy. Glue. 3 sounds. G, ul, oo. Me, 2 sounds. E. Gloomy. Mark the word. Gloomy. Here, OO is representing its first sound, oo, as in the word boot. Frisky. Frisky. The kitten is very frisky. Frisky. Friss, 4 sounds. F, r, I, s. Key, 2 sounds. K, E. Frisky. Mark the word. Frisky. Row 8, sloppy. Sloppy. You have sloppy handwriting. Sloppy. Slop, 4 sounds. S, ul, ah, p. P, 2 sounds. P, E. Slop, P. Mark the word. Slop, P. Hardly. Hardly. I hardly think you would like to do that. Hardly. Hard, 3 sounds. H, R, D. Lee, 2 sounds. Ul, E. Hardly. Mark the word. Hardly. Balmy. Balmy. The weather is balmy today. Balmy. Ball, 3 sounds. B, all, ul. Me, 2 sounds. E. Balmy. Mark the word. Balmy. A is representing its extra sound, aw. When A is followed by L, followed by another consonant, even if the second consonant is in the next syllable, A will oftentimes represent its extra sound. Pony. Pony. Let's go for a pony ride. Pony. Po, 2 sounds. P, O. Knee, 2 sounds. N, E. Pony. Mark the word. Pony. Row 9, daisy. Daisy. The daisy bloomed in the meadow. Daisy. Day, 2 sounds. D, A. Z, 2 sounds. Z, E. Daisy. Mark the word. Daisy. Easy. Easy. This test should be easy. Easy. First syllable, one sound, E. Z, two sounds, Z, E. Easy. Mark the word. Easy. Duty. Duty. We all have a duty to perform. Duty. Do, two sounds, D, U. T, two sounds, T, E. Do, T. Mark the word. Duty. U is representing its second long sound. The primary long sound for U is the name of the letter, U, as in mule, and the second long sound for U is U, as in duty, or as in dude. Remember, our key sentence is the dude rode on the mule. Lofty. Lofty. You have very lofty goals. Lofty. Lof, three sounds. L, A, F. T, two sounds. T, E. Lofty. Mark the word. Lofty. Row 10. Breezy. Breezy. It is breezy today. Breezy. Bree, three sounds. B, R, E. Z, two sounds. Z, E. Breezy. Mark the word. Breezy. Early. Early. We need to get up early. Early. First syllable, one sound. Second syllable, lee, two sounds. L, E. Early. Mark the word. Early. Bulky. Bulky. The package is very bulky. Bulky. Bull, three sounds. B, ul. Key, two sounds. K, E. Bulky. Mark the word. Bulky. And our final word is queasy. Queasy. He began to feel queasy. Queasy. First syllable, que. Three sounds. Our first two sounds are qua, E. Z, two sounds. Z, E. Queasy. Mark the word. Queasy. And this completes the dictation of words from lesson 461.